Hi, I'm Salman Avestimehr. I'm co-founder of ChainOpera AI as well as tensorOpera AI. I'm also Dean's Professor of Electrical and Computer Engineering and Computer Science at the University of Southern California, where I also am the director of the USC Amazon Center on Trustworthy AI. A bit of background about myself and my research. I work, broadly speaking, in the areas of information theory, machine learning, blockchain systems, as well as decentralized and federated machine learning. You can think about over the past decade, a core focus of my research has been around how collaboration across many participants can unlock fundamentally more powerful and trustworthy systems. Now, with that background, you ask maybe a high-level view of ChainOpera AI. You can think about ChainOpera AI essentially as the fruit of this journey. At a high level, what we are building, we call it crypto AGI. This is a community-powered collaborative intelligence layer that you can use that to interact with complex crypto and DeFi markets. Instead of relying on a single centralized model or agent, ChainOpera AI essentially enables a network of collaborative agents that you can use it for a variety of tasks in DeFi and, broadly speaking, financial markets. In practice, the way that you can visualize ChainOpera AI, it has several layers. For example, you can visualize it through AI terminal app. This is like a decentralized version of ChatGPT that you can go and interact with these agents in a collaborative manner. But as a builder, you can go through the agent developer platform to build and launch those agents. And all of this infrastructure is running on our decentralized model and GPU cloud. So at a high level, again, this is all about bringing collaborative AI in a tangible manner that every user can use in real life. Yeah, so if you think about the core, maybe underlying problem or underlying philosophy that we have used for building ChainOpera AI, you can think about around the philosophy that we believe another way of creating intelligence is by scaling out as opposed to scaling up. So what I mean by that is if you look at today's way that we are building better AI models, typically driven by the big tech, is around building larger models using massive amount of data that is used for training these models and bringing more powerful AI to the market. That's the concept of a scaling up, right? You go to more GPUs, you go to bigger models using more data, etc. We are pushing on another angle, which is a scaling out. In a scaling out, typically as you scale out across collaboration, across several components, right, the belief is that you can build better systems. For example, maybe many agents can collaborate together to build better AI solution for the end users. Or maybe many smaller models can collaborate together to deliver a performance that is comparable to a bigger model, okay? So this is the philosophy that is different from big tech on building, again, larger models and using a lot of the infrastructure, and makes the new paradigm for creating AI that is more centered around collaboration, around community participation, etc. Now, how did we get to that philosophy? Actually, that philosophy started from a sequence of works that we have done in this domain. For example, we started by working and applying this philosophy several years ago in the concept of blockchain systems and in the concept of consensus layer and sharding. Okay, so typically when you do sharding, right, you would think you get more throughput at the cost of less security because there are more shards and each shard will have less security. What we did was we applied collaboration in that layer and invented the concept of polyshard. Polyshard is the concept that by collaboration across several shards, not only you get the performance or throughput, but you don't sacrifice security. Okay, so that's another version of collaboration that you can see natively in the blockchain system. That work, was with my former PhD students, collaborators, that one of them actually went and later co-founded Babylon Labs in the blockchain domain. For us, we continued and applied this to now the concept of collaboration for machine learning. And that's where we started working on federated machine learning. And together with my co-founder, Aiden, we started FedML AI. That's a popular open source library for federated or decentralized machine learning. We started that back in 2020. We made it the most popular open source library on federated learning. And there, the concept is again collaboration when you apply it to data silos. How could many data holders collaborate together to build better AI models? Then we followed that journey. We built TensorOpera AI. TensorOpera AI is a way to bring that concept to markets. And TensorOpera AI brings this decentralized AI for enterprises to use them. For example, in enterprises, maybe you need collaboration across several clouds. And maybe those clouds, because of regulation, because of restrictions, right, you cannot have the data to be combined together. Or maybe in enterprises, you need collaboration between edge and the cloud, because part of the data might stay at the edge, part of the data might stay at the cloud, or maybe your resources are scattered across them. So TensorOpera AI is our company that builds the infrastructure for collaborative AI across both edge and the cloud. And later, we upgraded that to even bringing that collaboration across agents. Now, continuing that journey, now ChainOpera AI is the most recent example of collaboration where you see that at the application layer. Right? So at the application layer as a user, maybe you are interacting with many agents, but if these agents are isolated, you don't get much advantage. And our concept is that through collaboration across these agents, we can unlock much more value for the end users, and especially those values being in where, maybe the people who are excited about crypto, excited about the, fintech, want to use them. For example, you want to apply them for prediction markets, you want to apply them for DeFi, you want to apply them for DEXs, etc. So that's the concept and the philosophy of collaboration that we have applied it to various layers, from blockchain systems to machine learning to agentic systems, and now we are bringing it to market at ChainOpera AI. Yeah, that's a very good question. It's kind of, many people talk about community-built AI and collaboration, and your question is why? Why do we fundamentally need this? And where is the gain that is coming from? So maybe, to play the devil's advocate, you can always think about if you were going to build a centralized AI system, it is true that it may be faster and more efficient. And in fact, that's why we see that currently the centralized way of building AI is progressing much more faster, right? And driven by the big tech, because you don't need decentralization if you just want to build the most efficient one or the faster one or maybe larger models. But then the problem is that this technology that is going to be so powerful, it may be different from what users really want. Now, let me make it more clear. I think a clear example of it, you can see in social networks. Right? Social networks is everything, something that all of us use it. It scaled and, penetrated the market very rapidly. There are various social platforms that we use, but then now we see it has become very brittle in the sense that it's not clear who is governing them. What is the censorship on social networks? Whose thoughts, how is the information being propagated? Who is influencing it, right? And these are all the problems that I think many societies, many countries are struggling with, right? Some people ban the social networks, some put age limits, etc., right? So it becomes much more difficult to govern it and align it with what we really want. So in that regard, I can see maybe the first way of AI through centralized AI, you can see much faster progress. But as time will pass, right, then there may be a misalignment between what the big tech want to build and the solutions they want to offer and what users may want to have. Through decentralization and governance, right, we give a voice for every, let's say, a small builder to be a part of this massive technology that is being built. For example, let's say maybe you are a builder, you can build a, agent that can solve one piece of the problem. If you are just alone by yourself, you can never compete with OpenAI, Google, etc., and you will lose and you will not have an influence on how the future of AI is being built. But if we are making it community driven for everybody to collaborate together to build better AI, right, then every player can play its role and users can also participate to make sure that the AI that is being used and being built for them, they have a voice in it. So I think that's really the fundamental need for a different way of building AI that I think in the future will matter, as again, many people predict this technology is going to be a world-changing technology. Definitely, yeah. And actually, if you look at our, X channel, there are various examples that are community, maybe feedback and community built examples that we highlight. And that makes it actually really memorable in the sense that we get to see this real impact of community on building the AI. Now, for us, maybe to give you some examples, for example, there are two ways that the community can get participate. Either they are end users or the developers. As the end user, right, the feedback that we'll provide is kind of on the quality of the AI, right, on how they can interact with the AI, what is going to be the deficiency of the collaboration between these agents. And a recent example of it is we launched a prediction market AI agent. That's an AI agent that you can interact with it to give you maybe insights on what events in the prediction market you should bet on and what is going to be the maybe likelihood of each event, etc. And then this is something that resonates with many people in the crypto community, and we ask the community members to stress test this agent. Find corner cases. When would it fail? When they find it interesting, how would they interact with it? And we saw a wave of feedback on examples that sometimes is performing great, sometimes maybe missing some of the scenarios, and sometimes maybe users are struggling. And we brought that feedback actually to the product team to make the new version and do the iteration. So that's an example from end user on an agent that resonates with them. They want to use it daily. The other example is from the builders. As I mentioned, as a builder, you can go to the AI agent builder platform to build and launch your agents. And there we saw that, for example, build various what we call AI twin agents for various characters. One of them Elon Musk, the other one Jensen Huang. And then through our social agent network, right, they let these agents to collaborate together. For example, one community member give to the agents a task that you should debate together, think about the future of AI and what is going to be, how do you think the future of AI is going to evolve, what is going to be the role of blockchain in it, etc. And then they observed real communication between these agents. And as a human, they got involved, maybe given even feedback to this conversation. And the users recorded it, they posted it. And I think it creates, again, a maybe new type of feedback for builders, because you don't want to just build an agent by itself, but you should start thinking about how your agent can interact with other agents and get a meaningful experience of that. So I think these two examples are maybe good scenarios from both end user perspective as well as developer perspective on what they highlight. Very good. So, what we call ChainOpera AI is a maybe full stack agentic solution that is app driven. So it's kind of as a user, as a builder or a resource provider or investor, there are different layers that you can use for interacting. The top layer is the app layer or AI terminal that I mentioned to you. Is like you can think about it as a decentralized ChatGPT. And as an end user, you can go there to see the collaboration between agents, use them. But as a user, you can contribute your feedback, your knowledge. For example, maybe you interact, you observe some agents may not performing well. So you can rank those agents so that the super agent understands which agents are performing better in what tasks and design a better router and better orchestrator layer. So I call the real role of the users there is to help us or help the community create the orchestration layer. And that's where for different people may be different. For example, maybe for you, different type of agents may be more suitable for your task. And for me, they may be better. So as a user, you not only get a chance to shape the broader orchestration, but also personalized version for you. Now, as a builder, you go to the agent creator platform. That's where you can go and build and launch your own agents. The way you would interact with it is like there are thousands of agents already in the ecosystem. So you should think about what are the missing pieces, like where is the maybe need in the agentic system and where can I contribute a better agent that can solve a piece of the puzzle and being used in the ecosystem. So you can go build, launch your agent, and as your agent is being used, you can get rewarded in this ecosystem. Now, the third layer is the infrastructure layer. Infrastructure layer where GPU providers, model providers can join, right? And if you are an investor, maybe you can invest in the infra that is needed for scaling this ecosystem. The same way as maybe OpenAI needs massive resources, for us, we need collaboration across resources, which is either compute, models, or maybe contributors to this ecosystem. So that's how different roles can participate in creating this community-built AI. Yeah, so if as you mentioned, I think prediction markets are gaining a lot of attention, right, over the last year. And the challenge is that prediction markets, I think they are very complex, many events in them, and they change very rapidly. For example, one piece of news, right, could change the entire landscape of an event. Like think about maybe a sporting event. As soon as maybe one player may get injured, then the whole prediction may change. So in that sense, right, if you think about it, it's a very complex market with a lot of moving pieces that you don't know which one you have more information about to play a role. So I view that actually a great example for where AI can play a role, because typically AI makes access to the data much easier for you. Right? So for example, think about why is it that people predict like the search engines would be replaced by the AI engines. Like so far, search engine is the gateway for us human to access massive amount of data on the internet. But AI can make it much easier because you can just ask AI a question and summarizes all of this knowledge to you, as opposed to you going to many web pages, reading them and summarizing it to yourself. So the same way, you can think about now AI could become access to the prediction market that relies on massive amount of data much easier for the people. For example, you can ask a question, what events are suitable for me based on your knowledge? And maybe this AI knows you more, your background can suggest some events that are suitable for you. Then you can ask, okay, analyze all of this data on various places, right? Summarize what are the key factors that could contribute to that event. Or maybe apply a prediction on that event. So all of these sequences of even identifying the events, analyzing the knowledge, summarizing it, summarizing the information related to it, all the way to the scoring and maybe probability assessment of those events could be done much faster and much easier through the AI. So I view that more generally, maybe AI could be the interface between human and complex markets. Prediction market is one example of such complex market. Now, the role of ChainOpera is really creating that AI layer that is between us and these complex markets. And our belief is, again, not one person should build it, because there are, again, many agents, right, that could play. Maybe one of them is good for sport events. Another one is good for analyzing and suggesting the events. Another one may be good for probability assessment. And we want this agentic layer to give many capabilities for the end users. Definitely. I think there are two ways. I think AI will definitely be integrated in Web3. I think the main reason for it is Web3 and crypto is very complex. And as we discussed before, AI is really a simplifying solution. AI is going to make many things simple, and the things that are most complex would be affected the first. Right? So again, crypto, that's the reason that a large population, right, cannot get onboarded on the crypto, because they find it very complex, right? Going to a wallet, understanding centralized exchanges, decentralized exchanges, so on and so forth, right, is very complex for most of the people. I believe AI layer, right, would make it much more accessible to the people, and that's make the role of AI in blockchain. The same way, as we discussed before, I think blockchain can also create a new way of creating AI, a way that is very different from the big tech creating AI. That's where, right, we see excitement across small builders, right, because they will lose to the big tech, and they say, okay, what should I do? For example, think about maybe the open source community, right? Open source community has contributed a lot towards building the foundations of machine learning. But right now, they get a bit discouraged because, you see, there is not much room to compete with the big tech. But then if we have a different way of community built AI, now this can also fuel the open source community builders to all contributing to an alternative technology, right, that is competing with ChatGPT, competing with Gemini, but is owned by all of these builders. So I think that's more of a foundation for a future of AI, that blockchain could play a role for creating that future for us. Exactly. I think it's a different, and kind of there is a need for such a solution. Otherwise, we just become users of the AI as just one app that we all use. It's like, in AI, correct, finding where people can see real value, tangible value, right? So it's kind of in crypto world and DeFi world, there is tangible value that AI can create for you. Definitely, I think that's a good question, especially as we are wrapping up the year of 2025, thinking about the new year, right? What is our short-term goal, longer-term goals? Again, as I mentioned before, you can think about ChainOpera AI is an app-driven layer 1 blockchain system. App-driven would mean we are looking for real traction and real use by the people. So the short-term goal is to making sure that the agentic system that we have, the AI terminal app that we have that is already used by millions of people, getting traction on daily tasks, something that every day many people would be using it for problems in DeFi, problems in fintech, right, in a tangible manner to get benefit from. That is becoming very important. Otherwise, we are not fan of just talking about a hype and maybe future of AI, but something tangible that through community-built AI you can see value from. So that's really our short-term goal, pushing on this adoption and user traction, and I would call it making it everyday usage by the people. Longer-term goal is, around what we discussed together in depth today. It's like the role of community in shaping this AI. So it's kind of, we want to enhance that, enrich that as a way that there are more foundational way and encouraging more builders to join this ecosystem. That's where we have recently launched our plans at the foundation, and also we will soon launch our ecosystem fund. That's the way to incubate and fund new projects that are solving different pieces of the puzzle to work together. And I think that's the right way to create collaboration, and maybe pushing more by the end of next year to have many communities that are working together within the concept of collaborative AI in ChainOpera AI to provide this solution. And I think these two together become very important, because if you are building something, you are hoping many people would be using that. So traction is very important. And if many people are using it, they're looking for many new solutions to come to get excited. So this loop is very important to create as a way to compete with the big tech, right? Because they also have innovation every quarter, maybe the new model is released by them. The same thing, we need to accelerate this loop as a way that the users will motivate the builders and builders will motivate the users. So that's kind of our short-term and long-term goals for the next year coming up. Exactly, yeah. This flywheel is very important, making it real. You cannot just keep building with no adoption, and you cannot hope adoption if you are not building new things. Yes, so there are 3 parts in this flywheel. Like end users bring adoption and create motivation for builders. Builders are the one that are providing the agents that are used by the end users, right? So they want to build better agents that people get excited and use this ecosystem. Now, the third part of this flywheel are the resources. As there are more users and more agents, we need more resource providers, GPU providers, model providers. This flywheel, right, there are different ways that you can start that. For example, some projects may be started by incentivizing many GPU providers to join. For us, we believe the right way to start it was from the app layer and end users, right, to become users of this ecosystem. That creates the demand for more agent builders and motivation for them. And that's where we attracted many agent builders. And now that we have many users, many agent builders, there is a lot of demand for resources, because we want to scale up across many users and many agents and GPU providers, model providers joining this ecosystem. So measure of success is this flywheel and how fast you can scale it up. Definitely, yeah. I think there are many builders. Definitely, I think maybe our main message is what we try to encourage is building around tangible value for the end users, right? So it's kind of, that's where we want to bring together many builders to work and making this app layer the best. So this app layer will belong to all of them. Like any agent that is built will be released in that app so they can collaborate together. Now, the high-level message is, I think, we truly believe that, right, there is a moment where the future of AI that is being shaped could be driven by community-built AI through collaboration and through blockchain systems. And I think right now is the right time, in the sense that we are seeing, this not becoming just narrative, becoming tangible value for the people, and the right time for real builders to join and create a stronger AI. So it's kind of, the message is that I think this is real, could be used by the people. We are encouraging, builders, users to join, help us shape this ecosystem. And maybe think about different ways that how this orchestration and coordination across the agents could be shaped. right? So it's kind of, there are many problems that can be solved at these layers. One layer of it is, many agents that you can build. Another layer of it is how should the collaboration between these decentralized agents be done, right? So there is no one way of the collaboration. There are different incentive mechanisms for the agents to collaborate. Higher layer becomes the governance of this, right? So for example, currently, what is the right way? What is the wrong way? How should the maybe human alignment come to shape this AI that is being built, right? What values should it, emphasize, should it incentivize? And I think these are the layers that different people can join. Maybe they have ideas and contribute to our ecosystem. But, this is just one of the agents. We have many other agents. Some of them are trading strategy agents. Some of them are just for content creation, right? So you have a variety of solutions. Prediction market is just one example.